Greetings and welcome. And there's a lot to talk about for the November psychic forecast. I have some channel messages, and for November, I'm seeing more spiritual awakening, spikes of spiritual awakening more than ever. I'm also seeing big solar flare that could involve like internet blackouts and stuff like that. Of course, election craziness. You don't need a psychic to tell you that, I'm sure, but also a time of greater unity and more cooperation working together. So I'm just adjusting my camera, excuse me. So if you're looking for doom and gloom, it's the wrong place. But we're not sugarcoating it either. We are in very strange and very volatile times, and November has the potential to be a really make or break month. I need water already. So my glasses are on. The hair is short. That means I mean business. We're going to actually start with a little numerology astrology for the month, get into the prediction. I've got like pages and pages of it. I've got channel messages from automatic writing. I've got a mini channel, a couple channel messages in the beginning when I went into trance to try to get out of any bias. I mean, I'm not really biased, but of course I care who wins the election, obviously. So trying to get out of that. So of course we'll talk a little bit about that, as that's a major turning point this month. Then we have some recommended exercises. Then I have some divination tools to fill in the blanks or to get more messages directly from spirit. I've got some cards here to do that. So in any event, I'm just going to say a few quick hellos. If you're watching this as a video, I'm going to get started in just a minute. I'm going to try to blast through everything here. So Suzette, welcome. Lisa, Marissa, and Susan, hi, Katie, Bluebird. I know I saw Michael earlier. Lloyd, welcome. This should be very interesting. Hi, Laura. Hi, Brooke. Anybody that I'm missing? Lisa. I thought I saw Michael. Oh, there you are. All right. And hi, Yvonne. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Kiss. I know people are just starting to get their notification. They're just starting to get on. So I hope everybody is doing well. Before I even get into this, tomorrow we've got a double header, well, a triple header, actually, a trifecta, because at 3 o'clock, I've got a video coming out for the most spooky Halloween predictions for the coming year. Then at 7, we're doing some work with Sekhmet and the master teachers, some frequency channeling for Samhain, Halloween, and the new moon. And then at 8 o'clock, that's when you guys get to relax. I'll just give messages from your loved ones and spirit on the other side. That's at 8, not 7 o'clock. I do that an hour later on Halloween just because a lot of people have kids, they're trick-or-treating, but usually by 8 o'clock, the kids are home, they're settled down, they're gorging on sugar, and the grown-ups can just relax and get messages. So in any event, let us begin. So let's start out with astrology, numerology. Hi, Stacy, Colleen, Yvonne. I think I said hi to you guys already. So it's all on my notes. I'm going to be working from my notes a lot. There's just too much information. I'm going to try to get through this quickly. I value your time, but we're probably going to be at this for a good hour. So hang in there. You know, you can always watch the rest of the video if you've got something to do. Good evening, Millie. Welcome. Welcome, Carla. Okay, so people are starting to find us. People are starting to come in. So let's begin. Astrology, numerology. November is a 19-month. If you add up the number 11, 202 plus 4, which reduces to 1. In Chaldean numerology and in tarot, the sun, 19 is the sun. This is very positive energy, by the way. This is really, really good energy. Oh, thank you, Suzette, for the super sticker. I love you. Thank you so much. Hi, Karen. Good evening. So this is really good energy. And 1 is about initiation, new beginnings. But 19 is the sun. So the etheric, the spiritual sun will be shining on us this month, guiding us through a lot of transitions and changes in our society and in our world. And now the sunshine, energetically, things become more noticeable under the sun, you know, the bright sun. So everything gets more noticeable. Things come to the surface, things that maybe some people are trying to hide. this can be in your life and in your families, in your reality, as well as what's going on in the world around us. So everybody gets more noticeable under this energy. What you do will make you. What you do will make you. Okay, good. Your your actions are more visible. Intense energy will require periods of rest to balance so you don't burn out. So get your rest this month also. Also, new beginnings. Pay attention to new trends in the world, in your life. We will all have more power and more be visible this month. So make it count. So basically, use this energy, be more visible to make your way in the world, to promote your businesses or your jobs or whatever it is. This is a cosmic opportunity for all of us, especially those of us that are working to assist in the awakening. All right, so what else? I can't even read my own writing. Alignments are good for inventionness, thinking outside the box. So think outside the box. Very good for inventiveness. Everybody feels more noticeable for good or for bad. So let's make it for good. Time to put best foot forward to execute your plans, to be more noticeable, create, and all that stuff. You really want to put it out there this month, and it will have lasting success. So, you guys that might be thinking about a YouTube channel or expanding or getting on Instagram, TikTok, writing a book, doing a podcast, whatever it is, good energy for that. So, some of the astrology, we start right on the first with a new moon. Yippee! And usually I do a full new moon forecast. We're kind of blending that in with the monthly forecast. It's on the first day of the year. The new moon sets the template for the entire 29-day cycle. So this new moon is setting the template, or the blueprint might be a better word, for the entire month. So understanding these energies are good. 9 degrees of Scorpio. 9 is energy. It's Mars. It's completion. Scorpio is very energetic also. So largely, and the new moon's largely unaspected in astrology, so that helps to foster independence as well. 9 is completion energy, starting with the first month of new beginnings. Yeah, because this is a month of new beginnings, so we start with the new moon, which is also new beginning. Time to plan, maybe do a little bit of law of attraction stuff for what you want to create this month and beyond. So good for also for, so this 1 month, this energy beckons us to clear the lower vibrations and focus on the higher vibrations. So really good for shadow work. It's Halloween, Samhain, Diwali. These are all festivals of light. Day of the Dead, all that stuff. So month starts with a desire to step away from the drama, to be more private. That's part of that Scorpio energy. Also on a It's also the first is a 20-day in numerology. So the new moon is on the 20-day. That's the judgment in tarot. That's the awakening. So this is a big spike of spiritual awakening starting right off. And it's also All Souls Day, I think, or All Hallows Day. As well as Samhain or Halloween. Also, okay, this is the initiation, the awakening. So a lot of us are going to have initiation. Some of us had the lines initiation on in early August. So this is going to take you guys. It's going to take you to the next level also. And, there's different kinds of initiations or whatever. So this will be very active internally. There will be pain that surfaces for many, but it's just part of ascension. We cannot fear pain. We have to embrace it, right? Old stories need to be cleared now. The moon, the month will catalyze that, making it a very emotional month or very emotional time for us as part of the release. But it's also very volatile in the collective. So we want to stay in our own lanes and acknowledge that the people are going to be more triggered than ever, more divided than ever. So take that into account as you're dealing with the world, basically. Important to stay in your own lane, go within. So a few other little astrological tidbits for the month. I'm not going into a lot of detail. If you want a detailed astrological forecast, check out Armand Diaz on Integral Astrology channel. But also, there's a full moon on November 15th at 24 degrees Taurus. 24 is about integrity, family, and service. Taurus is also very grounding. It can be relating to the financial system, our homes, our family, and stuff like that. So a lot of attention goes to family. This could be like it, as a nation, as a community, as a world community, all that stuff. More attention to domestically our homes. Okay, I wrote that down too. So Saturn's also going to station to go direct. What day is that? I didn't write the day down, but I think it's right. It might even be the 12th, but it's right around that time. And that's at 12 degrees Pisces. So Saturn is our teacher, basically. It's about karma, it's about law, it's about teaching. 12 degrees is the sacrifice. It's also very expansive, and Pisces is very spiritual, a very higher mind. So when planets station, they're very powerful. So really, a lot of learning, a lot of growth is going to come from that. More is going to be released from the mainstream news. So that's going to create also with this very powerful solar energy. Things can't hide. They can't hide beneath the surface. The sun's going to find it. So you're going to see more and more coming out on mainstream news, more of the corruption being exposed, more of what's going on in the world being exposed. Also, Pluto's going to go into Aquarius on the 19th, and it's going to stay there for the next 20 years. The Aquarian age, evolution, revolution. Mercury also goes retrograde on the 25th, so we're going to deal with the Mercury, the shadow or the approach, the slowing down of Mercury. It's going to be on the 25th at 22 degrees Sagittarius. That's actually a really good sign for a Mercury station because, again, it's about awakening, it's about knowledge. But, with the retrograde, we want to go within. So, starting out with the Scorpio sun, the Scorpio new moon. Also, the full moon's going to be conjunct Uranus. So Uranus is a really major player this month. Also, change, evolution, revolution, and then Aquarius is a Uranus ruled sign that Pluto's going into. So Uranus is going to be a major player this month. Uranus is about surprises. It's also an election day month. Yeah, in the United States, and I think in a few other countries. So surprises, sudden releases of energy. So again, big solar flares, big changes that way. All right. So when I was going into more of a trance to get out of my brain, to try to get more heads or tails about what's going to happen in the election, I got a few little messages, and we'll jump right into the predictions and all that kind of good stuff. And I see a lot of people. A lot of people are come on recently. So yeah, if you came on a little late, yeah, what you miss, you can always catch up on. So I went into a little bit of trance, and they keep saying the timelines, they're fluid. I think somebody somewhere knows who's going to win this election because it's already happened, but so have all the timelines have already happened. So like I've been saying, I've been leaning towards Harris winning before because once I had, after I correctly predicted, months before Biden stepped down, I saw her celebrating, but more and more I'm feeling, that who may wind up taking this. So we shall see. But let me read what I wrote, when I was in trance. So I'm seeing a man in charge. So that was the first thing. They saw me a man in charge. It kind of looked like Donald Trump. Wasn't orange or anything. Just kidding. If I'm joking, I don't mean to offend anybody, so I'll say that in advance. So I think either Donald Trump can take this election, or he's going to remain very very visible. So one way or another, he's going to be very influential, or whatever forces he's aligned to, whatever you believe with that. I'm also seeing firing shots. That could be figurative, but I do feel like he still has to watch out for would-be assassins. I mean, I guess that goes with any presidential candidate, but showing me very fast turnaround. People can handle the changes. This is all what came through in channeling. Periods of spiritual awakening, changing everything, making people more aggressive, more scared, more unpredictable. So be aware of that. When you go out into the world, seeing a man in power, money, finances heavily scrutinized. Um, Personnel in the world stage, highly scrutinized. Financial moves made, economy gains strength, but maybe for the wrong reasons. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But the sun is shining down on all of us. We all have the power and visibility this month. Make it count. So that was just some brief things. Yeah, that came up. It's on this side. All right. So anyway, let's dive into the predictions. Hello, MDR. Hello, Suzette. Oh, I mentioned hi, Valerie. Politics is dirty business. Yeah. And that's a good point. I'm not going to go a lot into your comments because I've got a lot to talk about, but that's that I'm going to talk about that also in a minute. And we won't know the results till January. Very, very possible. That's all there as well. So anyway, so I won't start here. There's so much. So timelines are fluid. Not everything I say is going to happen. Not all of my October predictions happen, though I think a couple of them are way late into November or December, so it doesn't make it wrong. And that's just the nature. It's predictions. It's a forecast. We don't know what's going to happen because only God or Spirit knows that. We can get some insights and we can do prophecies, but to me, understanding the energies and how to handle affairs, if I can impart that information to you, I feel like that's even more valuable than all these probably 30 or 40 different predictions. But anyway, major suspension bridge collapse. I think I forecasted that in October. It hasn't happened yet. This may be in New York City, so watch out in the city. Possible big hostage situation in U.S. They were highlighting Texas. There's going to be a little bit of domestic unrest. I mean, do we need to be psychic to know that? Two leaders step down. Could be Hamas, Saudi, Palestine, possibly one getting assassinated. So a lot of changing of the guards there. Big volcano erupting around an island. These are just things that I saw, in my mind when I was, again, doing a little bit of channeling. News on frequency attacks using mind controls that may come up. There are devices that from the outside, thoughts can be implanted into your brain. I know that's scary. I watched part of an interview with Tony Rodriguez. I think that was on Lily Nova's channel, talking a little bit about that. So have a lot of shungai, things that deflect, because they use Wi-Fi signals, cell signals, radio signals. They were testing in the 70s with the radio frequencies. That's part of the Montauk Project. So this has been going on a while. So, don't fear it. The power of the heart is stronger than anything. God is in charge always. So no matter what happens, God or Spirit's in charge of everything. Stay in your heart. That's how you stay in your power. That's how you surround yourself with protection from what's going on, the negativity on the outside. The more in our heart, the less susceptible we are to programming of all kinds, including technology induced. So big volcano eruption. Okay, something signed into law later month here or other countries changes how technology is used and developed. So that could be big news. Lots of AI fraud, scams, hacking into central intelligence and computers is noted. So a lot of wars really fought on the cyber battlefield. Of course, the physical battlefield, people die, but most of the wars actually beneath the surface, as I know most of you know. A politician on the news may declare that we are officially in war. Don't believe it. That's BS. It's designed to scare us, basically. West Bank or a contended area may get taken back. So that could be interesting. That I think that would be the Palestinians, right? Not the Hamas so much. A UFO activity very high, spiritual awakening at record levels. All right, so that's that. Elections, what fun! Like I said, I'm not really predicting a winner, but keep an eye on things. And again, do we need to be psychic? If Trump doesn't win, he's going to say very visible. There's going to be a lot of scrutiny. Now, the good news, if you want to call it that, is that November the 5th is a universal 24 day, which is really about things like integrity. It reduces to 6. It's about family, integrity, fairness. So this is going to be highly, highly scrutinized, highly watched, basically looking for foul play. So that could help to some degree. So that keep that in mind. So went into trans. So okay, I already talked that. If Lucy's still going to be visible, still feel changes in personnel, but may happen after the election. What I mean by that is I made a prediction that either one of the 4 candidates, president, vice presidents, would step down unexpectedly. It's almost election day. That's not going to happen at this point. But I still feel changes in personnel may happen after the elections. There is a timeline that I've always been mentioning throughout this whole thing where Donald Trump does win, then steps down for one reason or another after about 2 years or so. I think he'll say that his job is done and he's passing the reins, but I'm also a little bit concerned about his health, something to watch between November and January, I'll say. So that may come into play. So there's that. Election remains unresolved after election day. Divisions, demonstrations, possible inappropriate police actions. Concerns come up around Donald Trump's health, voter manipulation problems at polling centers. From what I hear in the grapevine, in the swing states, they're making it harder for Republicans to. This is what I hear. I don't know that this is true, but they're making it harder for the Republicans to sign up than the Democrats. But anyways, we've seen this in all the election to greater or lesser degree. Voter manipulation problems at polls, problem at polling center and applications could be a real freaking mess. So let's hope not, but it could be. Lots of it's okay. So that's all I really wanted to say about that. And Yeah, yeah, I'm not even talking about thank you, Mike. I'm not even talking about the border crisis, the crime, the illegals versus the legals. All that stuff comes into play. It's a big mess, basically. It's kind of like, again, this rubber band stretching, between the right and the left, between the awakened and non-awakened, duality at an all-time high, division at an all-time high. Sooner or later, that rubber band snaps, and then there's an explosion of energy, but at the same time, it's an illusion. And that's part of the channel message from the master teachers that I'm saving for the end here. So anyway, moving right along. Lots of attention to plastics, microplastics, new rules. So we think global warming and climate change is the big game in town. It's big, it matters. Species die. People have to make adjustments, adaptations, but that's not the big news. There's other things, and I think plastics and microplastics. And I think during November they're going to really come out with information that's going to make your hair curl. Well, for me, it'll make my hair straight, but for you guys, it might make your hair curl. To the extent of which animals, what we eat, everything having these microplastics in it, and then of course speculation on did they know about this all along, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. So keep an eye on that. AI on high alert, huge flares, possible satellite disruption, the 11th through the 15th especially, but any time of the year. I understand there's a big hole, like a solar hole that's pivoting to be earth centered. If that happened, that would be a flare sooner than the 11th. That would be like this week or in the next week. So anyway, keep an eye on that because that can disrupt satellite communications, which is our internet. That's our cell service. So blackouts possible, 3-day blackout. could be that there's a lot of prophecies about that, but it may be more of just an internet or communications blackout than a full-on blackout. But you get a Carrington, it's what's it called? The Carrington incident, I think, or event of 1859. You get a flare to that magnitude that can knock out a lot of power, not probably not the whole globe, but to a big part of it. So things to keep in mind. Lots. All right. So big increase of UFO activity, sightings, communications, all that kind of stuff. So October was big. Lots of sky anomalies. We forecasted that. I think it's going to continue to even heighten through the month of November. More contacts, more. I feel like there's going to be photos released about pictures taken inside of an alien craft, a UFO. So spirit, what did we say? Spirit. Oh, okay. And it's just saying that that spirit, the energies that be, the positive extraterrestrials that are helping guiding humanity's awakening are working to clean the energy fields of a lot of karmic trauma, a lot of negativity that humanity spewed into the ethers, into the collective. And sometimes comets, like the comet that's been coming around lately, it is a sort of a celestial representation of the energies of clearing things out energetically. All right, you got a lot more to go. We're not even a half hour yet. No, wait, I like that. No way, Trump is going to step down. Trump is going to win. All right, yeah. Again, I'm not playing favorites. I'm not taking sides. I'm aware of the trends in the polling. I want to say, keep in mind that that Trump won in 2016 at anywhere from a 2 to a 6% deficit in the polls, basically. So keep that in mind. Also, a lot can happen in the next 5 or 6 days. But yeah, if like I think MDR or somebody pointed out, there's going to be a lot of voter manipulation. So even if he wins, he may be declared the loser. Yeah, I don't know. This is just speculation on my part, and I should probably get back with the program and not speculate on any of this stuff. But again, win or lose, Trump's going to be a very major player going forward, and whether it's through his own design or just through happenstance or just through the ethers or whatever, this is an agent of change, one of the major agents of changes of this time of awakening. I'm not saying he's the Messiah. I'm not going there with that. But whatever the reason for it, I mean, the obvious reasons is he bucks the system. He challenges the media. He challenges the status quo. Love him or hate him, I like him for that. I'll put it that way. So anyway, but helping to overthrow evil and corruption. So that's basically like something with the energetics, this high frequencies helping to overthrow that. In 2022, I think midway through in a channeling with the master teachers, they declared the light had won, but cautioned us that it's still going to take time for the world for us to see that in the world, but the light has won, and now they're working to clean up a lot of this energetic negativity. A lot of it we create, so we have to be aware of that also. A lot of it, as a collective, we're creating. All right, so anyway, frequency spikes more intense, leaving people angry, frustrated more than ever. Give people their space. Stay in your own lane. Tremendous release of energy can lead to new aggression, new players, and global conflicts. Big battles flare up and then die down quickly. Seeing explosions over water, possibly at oil sites like oil rigs, possible missile launches, stuff like that. Uranus is major player, surprises, sudden release. But also, well, I'll get to the also in a second. Also divide, intensifies, create more unity within yourself and within your community and your family. Don't buy into this divide. If you get upset or triggered, step back and go back into the heart, back into unity. But I wrote this down somewhere else, but I'll mention it now. Also, I'm seeing a lot of big steps in diplomacy also. again, not doom and gloom. There's a lot of good that's being done as well. It's not, but the corruption, the evil, the tower's got to fall in order for new and better to rise up. So we have to go through this. The more we can be in our flow state, the more fluid we can be in a collective, the more open and the less resistant, the easier it's going to be for everybody. But good luck with with all that's going on out there. But let's all do our part and be more in the flow, right? So divide, intensify. With Pluto and strong Uranus energy, diplomacy also increases, especially Israel, Palestine, but in many of the sectors, basically. Big opportunities for healing planet. For those of you that do grid work, do healing work, you're going to get a lot of energy and backing from the universe. So this is a good time to keep doing that. I try to do that as often as I can myself. So anyway, more economy. Yes, the economy tends to be strong, at least cosmetically, but could take a hit towards the third week of November. The BRICS plus nations, I have to add that, gains momentum in their ideologies. Of course, if you understand about the movers and shakers in the economy, the BRICS nations I mean, that does involve Russia and China and now Cuba. So we have to look at that. But from what I understand, it seems much more progressive. I think these debates of the fiat dollar or currency versus gold or precious metal backed currency, I think that's going to be a big thing and a big deal. So battles over the future of currency. What did I say? Fiat versus gold backed, etc. War efforts, uh, war efforts and new vaccines may help to buoy the economy. We know war is big business. A lot of companies benefit from that. We know vaccines have a huge profit margin for the pharmaceutical companies. But in any event, like I said, that's not necessarily for the right reasons, but there's so many moving parts. I could be here for hours just trying to break all of that down. Suffice it to say, the economy is still volatile. On paper, it's going to look good, but we have to talk about technology because we always do. The science of tricking people. It's like, oh yes, unemployment is down. But if you look deeper into that, but that includes people that are temp workers that work X amount of hours per week, part-time employees, underemployed people. Inflation is still higher. So yeah, the gross numbers of unemployment may be better, but when you look deeper into it, it does not paint a pretty picture on what's going on in the world and how humanity is being exploited and continues to be exploited. And just at the benefit of a very minute few, the ruling class, the deep state, whatever you want to call that. So overall, a lot of tension builds, which can explode in November with volatile transits, etc. Solar activity increases, lots of tensions between nations, issuance of new currencies. Gold can spike in the coming days, but it may go down again later in the month of December. Big gains in silver can begin. So I think silver might be a good, while it's still low, I think it's trading about 34 an ounce now. So that might be good. Big exposures, the mishandling of information around, a certain thing that happened after a certain virus came and into the world, that goes in the arm, right? So misinformation on that gets more exposed on that. Like, in other words, things that have gone wrong, things that are going wrong are being talked about now. Like, in other words, people getting strokes, the effectiveness and efficacy not being nearly what was told to people that work for the pharmaceutical companies coming out, whistleblowers and stuff like that, talking about the flaws in the testing, talking about information that was deliberately concealed or buried, basically. So there's a lot to come out, a lot to surface. I'm not an anti-vaxxer like anything else. If the potential risks, if the potential benefits outweigh the potential risks, by all means do it. That's not just for COVID, but for any vaccine. But know what the potential risks are. Do your homework first, and then make your decisions. Basically, big exposure on sex trafficking. Horrible, horrible thing. I don't think it's going to be solved in November, but come towards next September, there's going to be big news about that. War's profitable. Okay, so weather and climate. Okay, thank you, Michael, for that. Thank you, thank you. You guys are really really doing it up here. Numbers can be made to say anything. Smoke and mirrors, exactly. Yeah. Nothing wrong with asking questions, doing research. Nothing wrong at all. So if people get what's the right word, censored for doing that and making it public, then we're not living in a democracy anymore, right? So that's the thing. I'm glad you guys are chatty. Yeah. So weather, climate, like I said, plastics take headlines. Lots of I've seen lots of lightning. So this can be very volatile. November in meteorology is called the second tornado season, and it's called the Dixie Alley season because most of them are in the south. I feel like we go up towards Ohio, back towards Kansas and Nebraska in those areas. So there could be a lot of severe weather breaking out. I'm seeing a lot with water, a lot of disasters with water. Oh my God, what was going on in Italy? Um, I think it was Italy or Spain, or was it Spain? But these are the trends in weather. It's kind of redundant every month, predicting floods, predicting earthquakes, predicting bad storms. It is what it is. We have to be aware of that basically. So have a plan because we're more likely to face severe weather in our neck of the woods, wherever you live, than ever before. So I'm not going to go into these details. It's just, again, like I said, a lot of redundancy. We know the climate is there. Now, is there climate warfare going on? Is climate change being politicized? Of course it is, obviously. Is there weather modification manipulation? There's pages upon pages of disclosed information on that. Never mind what's not disclosed. Do they have the technology through HARP to create a global aurora event or to create global circulation in the weather, suggesting that there is no natural weather? I don't believe so, but I don't know. It's possible. But one thing that I do know, being a meteorology major, studying this stuff, is that to to steer storms, what you do is you change the temperature in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and that changes the wind currents in the upper levels, and that steers storm. They can do that, I believe. This is my opinion, on a local level enough to steer storms and hurricanes. Does that mean that these latest disasters were that? Not necessarily, but follow the money, follow who gains power, who stays in power, and if that matches the event, then it's perfectly fine to look deeper into it. I'll put it to you that way. So what else? Prepare for the problems around farming, land ownership, buyouts of property. That's already happening. So I think we'll see more of that. You think of the Gates, think of BlackRock and the other asset management companies. They really have their tentacles and everything that goes on in the economy. Solar activity increases a lot. Remember, Uranus is in charge with Pluto and Mars in charge also. Very volatile atmosphere. Very volatile atmosphere on many fronts, basically. And change can release perhaps some level of revolution, but all leading to evolution. So if we get evolutionary activities or civil war type of activity, it's still all leading to that awakening, that global awakening and evolution. So hang in there if things get a little bit rough. Mid-month is a big check-in time. Take stock of things, take personal inventory. Many of us will be changing plans, leaving friends, leaving situations, making significant lifestyle changes around then. Solar or Saturn goes direct, full moon conjunct Uranus, which is about sacrifices for higher learning, with the 12 degrees Pisces of Saturn station in Pisces. Sudden unpredictable changes are around this full moon, but also psychic abilities increase a lot. Awakening spike, especially around the middle of the month. Spiritual breakthroughs for a lot of us. Biggest spike in awakening yet is what we're looking at. And on the 19th, Pluto enters Aquarius for good. Big changes. Like and peace is going to follow in the next 3 to 4 years. So again, no WW3. We may appear to be moving in that direction. Yes, aggression is going to increase. Lines in the sand are going to be drawn, but we have help. We have benevolent beings of light, whether they're extraterrestrial or interdimensional, that know we're awakening and going through the crawling pains, just as a baby does when they first learn to walk. They fall down a lot. So we're being guided. We're being taken by the hand through this process to try to make it as easy as possible. But prepare for the worst. Know that we're going to have the best. And I don't think all the world problems are going to be solved in 4 years, but I think the threat of world war is going to be over by then, anyways. So, in any event, hey, Mr. Floyd, Josh. So, you guys that came in late, because I started out with about 20 people and we're up to 84 on the chat. So, when we end, you can go back and watch the whole beginning. A lot of information came out. So now to finish up, I've got 4 pages of automatic writing from the master teachers, the group that works with me, the interdimensional beings of light that work with me. They said some people call them the Brotherhood of Light or the Council of Light. Same energies. Thank you. Feel that light. Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me. If anybody is enjoying this, hit the like button, and then it may get shared to more people. And if you like what we're doing, please subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and more of our videos will come up on your homepage. Tomorrow for Halloween, we're going to do Sekhmet channeling. Sekhmet's come through in every of my personal channelings this week. I'm working with the master teacher. Sekhmet comes through, and there's a reason for that. I don't know what it is, but we'll find out together tomorrow night. But it's also Samhain, Halloween. Diwali begins tomorrow night, I think, also. Big changes, and of course the master teacher. So we do frequency channeling to help us step into these Samhain, Halloween portals, into the 1111 portal. And we're going to describe. So this is a little bit of a numerology lesson from the master teachers coming up. So are we ready? Thank you. Please hit the subscribe button. And Dutch Recyclist, welcome. And yeah, I've been saying this for much more than a year that this is going to happen. And yeah, it's just a continuation. Not all of this is new news, obviously. All right. So I did the automatic writing. I transcribed it because it's just scribble. And here it is. This is the truth. Where you're going, excess baggage won't fit. This is about our awakening, our transition to higher frequencies and higher consciousness. Just to back up for a second, it's so important that we work through the shadows, integrate them. We've got to release the baggage. We've got to release the resentment. We've got to forgive others because it's for you. It's not for them. If somebody screwed you out of your life inheritance, whatever it is, you have more than enough reason to be resentful to that person. For you, lose that resentment, forgive them, because if you don't forgive them, you carry their energy with you wherever you go. If you do forgive them, you don't have to forget, you don't have to love them, but forgive them, then you become released. You're free of that energy, and that is huge. So anyway, back to the channel message. This is the truth. Where you're going, excess baggage won't fit. This is your first day of the 11th month, 111. Your new lunar cycle, the heart of the change from the old to the new earth. And that happens on the first day of the month. This is your first 11 month in the new energy on your world. just backing up for those of you that are kind of new, we talked about the collective quantum leap in August. It happened. I felt it, and everything's been changing with people since then. I mean, it's still in progress. A quantum leap in consciousness. It's different than what happens in an electron, where the term in an atom where the term came from. It takes time for it to transition, but we're in a new vibration now. So this is our first November or 11 numerology. I mean, technically it's a 1 month or a 19 month, but you know what I'm saying. It's the 11th month of the year. All right, this is your first 11 month in the new energy on your world. This is the conundrum of division versus unity. For in number 11, 2 1 stand, but they're apart, divided, yet they are both ones, yet they are one and the same. So yeah, you have the 2 1s and then you have a space in the middle. So they're the same because they're both 1, but they're separated. So that's the mystery of number 11, according to the master teachers. You've got to recognize this now, for this is a pivotal time in your ascension. For just like the 2 1s in 11, you only appear separate from the other person, yet you are really one and the same. Two manifestations of the same oneness created in God's or Spirit's image. You are the creator, the created, and the act of creating all in one, the 3 in the 1 and the 1 in the 3. And between the 2 ones in the 11 is empty space, the void, the place of nothingness, no thing, nothing that creates everything, where the great mysteries of your multi-layered existence lies. This is a portal, the forever portal, and the nothing portal, the primal soup, the plasma field, the quantum field, manifest into the mold of your own creation, active always and waiting for you to enter, next page, that place between the ones where time began and where time ends. The peak of the 11th portal arrives on the 11th day of the 11th month, the 1111. 4 individual ones separated by their non-recognition of their sameness, separated by the void, the 3 voids, the 3 levels of non-existence, but nothing separates them other than the void, other than illusion. The portals of non-existence, which is the place of mystery, which grants awareness for the 3 voids exist between the 4 pillars or the 4 ones of the 1111. 3 levels of non-existence, the illusion of time, the illusion of space, the illusion of matter, which perpetuates the illusion of separation despite all 4 ones being exactly the same. It's your 3 in 1, the 1 in 3, cracking the mysteries, and you crack the universal code, the 369 code of Nikola Tesla, the universal transductor, and the force of change in your fractal physical universe. Here the mysteries of the universe lie, and the knowledge that your universe is of your own creation. Page 3. In your collective, you will face your greatest crisis, but with big challenge comes big potential for great rewards. Humanity must meet its shadow head on in order to reintegrate back to wholeness, to bring internal joining, to embrace the void, the unknown, to clear the separation and divide, and to learn how to unite once again. Your outer conflict in your world are manifestations of your inner conflicts, dear child. The level of trust it takes to step into the unknown, to reunite that which is divided, is huge, and the courage required is monumental. That which knows not the other and views as a thread are manifest from the same source. So step into these portals, do your spiritual work, presence integration of heart and brain, also one into the same, separated by illusion of the flesh. You will feel a stronger buzz, a stronger current through your body this month. you will see your sun active, heightening the energies, bringing new cosmic codes to trigger higher levels of DNA activation, to open new senses, to better feel and navigate the different worlds that all coexist within your familiar one. Don't resist the higher energies, the stronger currents, the heightened emotions that'll come, the natural releases. Just let it flow. Breathe and breathe through the discomfort for the flow, the currents born from the unifying field that exists between the pillars and manifestation, the 1 and the 11 and the 11 seek to clear all toxins, all programming, all cogs, all blocks, all accumulated in a human existence, and all disease and disease. The clearer your vessel, the more the force can clear you and heal you. So do your spiritual exercises, integrate the shadows, heal the internal duality to blend with great spirit within the space that lies between the ones, and you shall become healed and complete. November is your initiation point, your biggest shift yet. Don't resist, flow, awaken. This is the transition point into new earth. And if you made it this far into Adam's video, it means you are ready for the ride of your life, to be truly spiritually liberated and transcendence of the illusion, basically. So, anyways, we're already, we're not even an hour yet. Okay, we're not doing badly. So, things to practice, exercises to practice, grounding, yes. Um, Grounding, yes. Working with the shadow, integrating the shadow. So do your shadow work between Samhain or Halloween. Now, astrological Samhain is around the 6th of November. That's the midway point between the equinox and the solstice. So between now and the solstice, that's like the dark time of the year. And then the sun gets reborn on Yule or the 21st. So we come into the new light then. But in the Celtic wheel of the year, the new beginning starts with death. So we're in the new year now, but this is the time of the shadows. This is the time to work on the shadow stuff, to clear everything so you can be reborn again as the sun is reborn on Yule Day. You know, at least here in the Northern Hemisphere, we have that perspective. So they're saying to do that, to do a lot of work with flow. So the master teachers talked a lot about flow in that message, feeling the energies that go through us, that flow through everything, chi, prana, the force, you know, for the Star Wars fans, whatever you want to call it. So this is the time to really do that. And going out to nature helps, because you can feel the flows of nature, and that can help you feel the flows in you. How do you do that? You get very present, so present. You're not a name or a body, your energy, your frequency. That's who you truly are anyways. And the more you practice that, the more you start to feel the subtle vibrations that over time are not so subtle. I mean, to me, it's a full on. It's almost like I'm in a like in a current, like in a like a live wire, basically. And yeah, Lilydale back several years, they did a like experiments, and it was in Patricia Price's home circle, for those of you that go to Lilydale, where she had like the electrodes, and two people would hold it, and then you'd hold hand, and you feel the current buzzing through you. And I've been working a lot on the flow. You know, that's one of my things. I came into this through martial arts training. You know, I've done a lot of chi work, a lot of energy work, which is why I'm a good energy channel and healer also. She's like, so Patricia says, Adam, separate your hand from the person on your left. The current continued, and it shouldn't. If we were all holding hands, the way this is set up, this should only happen if you're physically touching the person that the current should go through you. It diminished a little bit, but it continued. He said, Adam, remove your other hand. And guess what? The flow continued around the circle, even though I wasn't physically touching people. So behold the power of flow, behold the power of energy. And not to be boastful, because anybody can learn this, but just to, give you an idea of how powerful this is. She had her top student do the same thing, and virtually nothing. You can maybe feel a little tick in between that, but virtually nothing. So why am I saying this? Because I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the flow and working with the flow. I guess that's the reason that I'm mentioning that. So, on that level, let's do a little bit of divination card. I noticed we're up to 87 people. People that came on late again, you can start at the beginning and catch it when we're done. And I want to again remind you that tomorrow night we're doing frequency channeling at 7 to step into the Samhain portal, the Halloween portal. Also, it's I don't know all the holidays, but Diwali from India, celebration of light, happens to fall on Halloween this year. There's El Dia de los Muertos. There's Native American celebration. It's all about the light and the shadows and acknowledging that death is the true beginning of life, basically. So there's a powerful portal energy that they're going to help us through to clear the shadows, to become clear vessels so we can step more into our light, more into our power, and connect more with spirit. And then you're going to develop more with your psychic work, your mediumship work, your healing work, your teaching, whatever it is that you do on a spiritual level. It's going to enhance that. So I wanted to actually, and then at 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock, that's when we're doing mediumship messages. So I'm going to go from very non-evidential work through frequency channeling into evidential mediumship at 8. So we'll get some messages and some validations for your loved ones on the other side during this time where the veils are very, very thin. Also, I read somewhere, if somebody can validate if it's true, that the Pleiades is highest in the sky during the well, what sign is Pleiades in? We can look at what sign it's in and see if that's true. It's a fixed constellation, so it's always going to be in the same sign, but it's supposed to be higher in the sky around this time of year, and things are falling. So there's a natural thinning of the veils. All the worlds are connected, but at some point in the year they get more connected than others. So anyway, I wanted to do tarot for some reason. Usually I do other divination cards. I'm going to pull a few cards from tarot. Ask Fear, what did I miss that we need to know in this forecast? Or what do we need to put an exclamation point on? Lisa, thank you. My mom died on Halloween on Samhain also. She knows it was an important day to me also. So she passed right on Halloween Day. Yeah. Powerful day to transition, also to be born. All right, need to clear my mind. Let's spirit guide the hand. Here we go. Found my card. Da-da. Judgment. That's key 20. That's the awakening. So work on the awakening, basically. What I'm seeing in this card also is really define your community, who's with you and who's not with you. Because people that aren't really with you because this is a journeying card, it's on water, they're on a boat. Water represents emotions. People that aren't with you are going to bring you down on some level or another. We're all connected, and you can say, well, other people can't affect me, but they do. We affect each other all the time. Of course, we have the power to mitigate some of the negative effects of others, but it's really time to define your community. It doesn't mean that you dislike people, that you see yourself as superior or better than them. It's just you're on a different path than some other people. I feel like define that and really work towards your initiation. This is a real awakening point. And there's different levels of awakening. There's not just one awakening. We can have several in a lifetime on different levels. So the judgment card, yes, very, very important energy, a big change, a big awakening, a big initiation happening with a lot of us now and happening in the collective level also. November is a huge, huge month. October was pretty big. Heralded in by solar flares. So I think we may have something very similar. We have the elections. I think, I'm not saying this, I think Monday, it may be from the Trump camp. I think somebody's going to drop a bombshell. I don't know what it is. I just feel like something really big is going to happen. And I'm not putting my finger on it, but over the next week or two, that's more than just the election, something really big. happening. I don't know what it is. If anybody has any insights, you guys can share your prophecies also, or your what you're picking up on. So let's do another card. Be prepared. Nine of Wands prepares. You've got your ducks in a row. You've got everything organized and planned. Which one of these 9 rods are you going to take with you on the journey? Which of the other 8 are you going to leave standing? Wow, we jumped up to 101 people. Again, we're winding down now, so you can go back to the beginning and catch all of this. And it's time to move on. Yeah, again, this seems to be a message that they're putting the exclamation point. It's time to move on. If your job's not doing it for you, don't get worried or concerned about money. The more you value yourself, that's the key word, value. Money's attracted to value. The more you value yourself and the more value you add to the world, the more attractive you are to money. You're not valuing yourself if you're letting yourself be enslaved because you're afraid to pay the mortgage. I mean, and not to diminish that, these are very real life concerns. So it takes a lot of strength and a lot of faith to do what I'm saying. But if you can really find that, follow your path. If you're being abused in some way, you're not getting paid enough or whatever, make a stand, leave, and trust that either Spirit's going to give you the right idea to make money or to move forward, or something else is going to happen just by coincidence that you'll attract that. And let's do one more card for good measure. As the 2 of Wands. So I think there's also going to be some realigning. What I'm seeing, because I know we have an election, there's this big ball between these 2 wands. Remember, with the 11, that can represent the number 11. There's a void. The void is being lit. I think a lot is going to come out about elections, about politics, about world affairs. I think this election, all the ups and downs and everything that's going to happen, is going to really expose a lot, basically, and we're privy to be alive. Challenging, yes, but in the best times of modern history, because we're going to see the changes. We're going to see the awakening. We're going to see all the illusion and delusion and all the control being exposed, and see like a way to a more fair and a more just society, more fair economy, less poor people, less poverty. We have the resources and the technology to feed the whole world, but because of the way the power is structured, most of the world is hungry. We're going to see the beginning of the end of all of that stuff. So hang in there. Even if things get tough, hang in there. And just at the last thing, I've got the sacred geometry card. So what is a right, Millie? We chose to be here. Exactly. I'm at 15K. Yeah. That's how many subscribers we have now. About 15 point something. I think it's 15.4. Whatever. So people are getting the message. That's good. People are getting the message, and I think it's just the beginning. Honestly, it's kind of like we formed the foundational community. That's us basically. So, anyways, this is the one they wanted me to pull. And the frequency of the month is remembrance. So I've gotten key 38 a few times here. Remembrance of who we are, as part of your spiritual work, as part of your path to enlightenment. You've been so many different people. Like sometimes we're pretty much all old souls. A couple of you may be new soul star seeds also that have chosen to come here, but you have to be human to come here. So you have to forget who you are. And I think because I'm talking about this, a lot of what's happening is we're realizing more of us that we're star seeds. Some of us are old soul star seeds, that we've been here since the very beginning of this cycle of human evolution, but we're really not from here. Others of us, or you, it's not me because I'm an old soul, have chosen to come here during this very pivotal time of human awakening and evolution, basically. But in any event, remembering who you are, that's part of our spiritual growth, is remembrance. That's part of the awakening. That's part of the initiation. And as I say to a lot of people that are older souls, you've been gay in other lifetimes. You've been straight. You've been white. You've been black. You've been yellow. You've been male. You've been female. You know, as we understand who we are as spirit, we transcend all these different faces we put on. Each lifetime is putting on a different pair of clothes. The body's still the same. It's just different clothes that we're wearing, basically. And we get treated differently, and we choose different challenges as well as different gifts to grow and ascend in this lifetime. And it's all bringing back to unity. It's all this great expansion of the universe in order to condense back into the fields of God, spirit, or oneness or source at the end of the day. So the message here is the frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul and body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. I feel like Spirit's saying to do some meditation, do some regression meditation. Do I have any on the channel? Maybe I should make one for the medium channel. But you can do like regression where you go back in time, like to your to being a teenager, to being a child, to being in the womb, back to your past life. So to do some work about remembering who you were before you came into this current incarnation and this current body. And that's what I got for you guys. Again, hit that like button if you like this. We'll get this out to more people. A lot of information got shared in this last hour, a lot. And I encourage the people that jumped on, if you're interested, go back in the beginning. The idea is if you're prepared, this could be the best month leading into the best time of your life. If you're ill prepared, it's not going to be easy, basically. It's not doom and gloom. It's change. Change is hard. We have to let go of the old. We have to embrace the new. We have to have faith and trust. And we have to empower, basically. We have to find our heart, find our light, and shine that out into the world and be that beacon of light and love that's going to help unify the people. So people have different political views than you. Big deal. You're both human beings. Like the master teacher is saying, you're both the ones that are separated by the illusion that the void is separating. It's actually unifying. It's the illusion. It's the forced programming of separation, duality. Divided we fall, right? United we stand. So if somebody disagrees with you politically, listen, no, I don't agree with you. You're allowed to do that. Agree to disagree. But I love you anyway. We're both human beings. We both want to make the world a better place. We just have different ideas of how to get there. So on that lovely thought, I'm going to leave that with you. 7 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern Time, channeling with Sekmen, the Master Teacher. 8 o'clock, get your messages from the other side for Halloween and Samhain. I love you. Much love to everybody. And catch everybody on the dawning. So if you guys want to catch some really good channeling with not the master teachers, that me with Archangel Raphael, Saint Germain, White Buffalo Calf Woman. These are Mr. Floyd. Josh is a multifaceted channel. Every morning at 10:30 Eastern Time, he works with his group to actually help you to do the things that we were talking about in today's video, to give you personal instruction or more of like a group experience on actually doing some exercises and work to help you in that process. So love you guys. A lot of other people have YouTube channels here also. I don't have the time to shout everybody out, but in any event, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Love you very much. And you're welcome, Josh, anytime.